After a long delay, it is time for the Porsche Mobil 1 Supercup to go racing as we approach the halfway mark of the 2025 season at round 4 at the Red Bull Ring. It is going to be some event, and in the comment box, my name is Omi. Delighted to be with you, and alongside me, Tom Cairns. Well, Tom, we've had all sorts go on. I brought you the news at the end of the Formula 2 race. We'll quickly run you through the grid quickly before I continue as well. But at the back of the field, we have Jacob Knoll. He's alongside Pisani, who goes from 29. He had a spin yesterday in that session. And then we have Martinez in 28th. Mason is in 27th position on the grid as well. So let's see what he's going to be able to do from there. Horst Felix Habermeyer goes alongside Frank Porte Ruiz. So he goes from 25th. And those two will be trying to move up into the top 20. Just ahead is going to be Sama Shaheen. And then Pietro Deli Guranti goes from 23rd place on the grid. And Diego Bertinelli is in 22nd. Alexander Tauscher is in 21st place. And then we get to Sebastian Freymouth alongside Cass Havercourt. Jonas Greif is in 18th. Francesca Braski is in 17th. Then it's Dirk Schuiten in 16th. Michele Scona has P15 on the grid. Jaap van Lagen is in 14th. Then it's Gus Burton in 13th. Overhaus in 12th. Verstante in 11th. And then it's Huub van Eindhoven in 10th. And then Yannis Diak, the rookie, goes from 9th. Walter Borrekamp in 8th. Keegan Master starts in 7th. Flint Schuring is in 6th. Alongside Alessandro Guiretti. So the teammates going from the 3rd row on the grid. Matisse Jabez in 4th. Ariel Levy's in 3rd. And then it's Klin alongside Robert Jehan on our all-Lechner front row of the grid. Okay, well, everything is so rushed because we have a formation lap starting in 1 minute's time. Basically what happened was I brought you the news. If you weren't with us at the end of Formula 2, then we had a truck. We had a truck hit a bridge. The bridge came down on the circuit. It damaged a barrier. Of course, they had to, with of course the biggest issue being the bridge, which they had to move. Then they had to repair a barrier. So it's been all chaos on the circuit. But we are finally back, and we can run this race. I thought that this was going to be cancelled, but they've managed to make it work. Alongside me, Tom Cairns. But yeah, we were all certain that most likely this wouldn't happen. They've managed to squeeze it in. They're already underway with the formation lap, but good work by them to quickly get it removed. But quite lazy for it to first of all happen in the first place.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I have to be careful what I choose to say on air, but it's not a good thing to see a truck hit the bridge. They seem to have replaced it now, which is good. But I think for future reference, they just need to make sure that whenever they are recovering cars after the race is finished, make sure that they actually do fit underneath the bridge before they decide to attempt to go underneath it. Robert De Haan on pole position then, making it's an all-Lechner racing front there with Marvin Klein. We've got interviews happening. We can't bring you those right now, but Robert De Haan will be focusing on getting another strong result after his second place finish in Barcelona, as well as his win in Monaco.
Yeah, so it's been a dramatic start. I really appreciate everyone who stuck with us and was asking in the live chat what was going on. It is great to finally have your company. I'm really happy that we're able to bring you this race. It would have been so disappointing had we not been able to bring you the contest from Austria, because this is one of the best circuits on the Porsche Supercup calendar, and for it to be cancelled and moved to another round, it definitely would have been quite disappointing. But we're getting a race. They're all getting on with it on this formation lap. Everyone knows that we've had to wait so long, and they all want to get this race going. Of course, Tom, you also have to consider Porsche Supercup. They've had a very dramatic start to the season. We had a shortened race by a few laps in Imola, with of course the red flag pile-up. Then the pile-up in Monaco meant we only got like around 5 minutes of racing. And then in Spain, we had a lot of track limits issues, meaning that the drivers couldn't always go for the overtakes and had to stay in behind. So this could be the first proper race we get without any other circumstances.
Well, who knows what could happen here. I mean, if we get like a red flag situation, then that's it. You know, there's no time left to get this race completed. And if it happens on the first lap or two, then no one will come away with any points. So it's vitally important that these cars do actually get through the opening laps safe and sound. And then we'll be in for a brilliant race from here on in. Alex Telscher running in 21st place on the grid. What can he do from here? The man who is currently sitting in the championship standings in 15th with an 8th place finish in Spain. He's failed to finish in the other 2 races as well. And we are gearing up for a really good race here. Flint Shearing starting in P6, and we are gearing up and ready to go, Remy, waiting for the final cars heading to the grid.
Yep, absolutely. The final car in position will be Jacob Knoll as well, who is with us this weekend. And we will find ourselves heading to the back of the field. And we will. Now, look to the 5 red lights. Okay, we've had to wait a long time for this race to get underway. We didn't even think it would happen. But here we are, waiting for 5 shining red lights around a circuit which has been given a contract extension for Formula 1 in the Porsche Mobil 1 Supercup. 5 lights are on! We're underway as we move away from the line, and it's a good launch off the line from the Lechnes, off the front row. Robert Dehan up alongside Marvin Clint. They are 1 and 2 heading into turn 1. Jalbert down the inside he goes. Aurelio Levy, he tries to take 3rd position. Can they all get through? It's vital that we keep it under green flags in this race, as Jalbert getting squeezed onto the grass by Aurelio Levy, and Aurelio Levy gives him a bit of a push as Levy moves up to 3rd position. And then we've got Jalbert, and then you've got the Schumacher CLRT cars of Giretti attacking on the brakes as we go through turn number 3, Remus corner. It is wide. It's wide at the front of the field for Dehan, and does it open the door for Klin? These two who went wheel to wheel in Barcelona now side by side at the Red Bull Ring. It is the teammates at their home race, the team's home race, and it's going to be down the inside for Marvin Klin into turn number 4, and Marvin Klin will get ahead and take the lead.
Super move from Marvin Klein, getting in front of his teammate Robert Dehan, who has to settle in behind, but he's coming back around the outside, heading into Pirelli corner. Will Klein know that he's there? He is aware that the contact made between the two Letness as Dehan ran into the back of Klein on the exit, but the two survive for now. It'll be a 17-minute race this, so we hope that we get at least, I would probably say, 10 laps of racing, providing we don't get any interventions in this. But a good start from Marvin Klein as we see the field continue to circulate their way through. There's a few more just in for position there. That's the number 3 going wide across the grass and maybe the gravel as well. The number 3 is Theo Overhouse, the championship leader, having to go across the rows, and you can just see how much battling there is going on. And Robert Dehan has lost out. He's lost 2nd place also to what looks like, as they head over the line, that has to be Ariel Levy, I think. Oh no, it's Alessandro Giretti. Giretti's through into 2nd place as they begin lap 2.
So, Giretti went on the attack. It was a wide moment, I think, for Dehan coming out of the final corner, and it means he's lost out as he will try repass, selling the dummy. Down the inside goes Robert Dehan, and he will retake 2nd place. He lost it on the exit of the final corner. He's regained it by the time that we go down towards turn 4. It is going to be a battle now. We're on board with Dario Levy. You've got Flint Shearing trying to defend from Jalbert. You've got Levy trying to stay ahead of Giretti. Battle on the brakes into turn 4. It is a mega fight at the moment as Clint tries to pull away and pull out of town. And meanwhile, it is Omni fighting further back as we run wheel to wheel. And it's going to be Yanis Stiak trying to put himself in the mix. And Yanis Stiak, the driver, currently in 7th position. That is a nose thrown in there as they run side by side through turn 6. Jalbert holding himself in 5th at the moment. Stiak trying to go round the outside, and Yanis Stiak dropping down the order a little bit as well. So he must have had a wide moment, and he's off into the gravel again, is Yanis Stiak. So Yanis Stiak running wide off, and this is a wild opening few laps to the Porsche Supercup as we arrive down to turn 9.
Yeah, this is going to get really, really chaotic if they're not careful here, as we see Stiak go further wide off the road and off the ground as well, for good measure. And he's losing out even more time here as Stiak as they come onto the pit straight. And you can just see Marvin Klein shooting further up the distance there, having a strong lead over his teammate. But now we're looking further back in the field as we see Stiak, who's got Van Dijnhoven, Borrekamps and Troyes on his tail. And it's going to be nip and tuck all the way up to the Remus curve. Who's going to break the later two? You can see the 26 of Van Dijnhoven to the outside of Stiak as they enter the kink of turn 2. There's Giretti who's fighting out with Levy going through there. And there's a spin involving what looks like is that Borrekamps has gone around. No, it's Tauscher, I think. Is it Tauscher? It's Overhouse. I think it's Overhouse. Let's spot me.
The championship leader, Teo Overhouse, has had a moment, we believe. He's dropping down the order as Teo Overhouse. That is a dramatic moment for him, and we are currently seeing the rest of the field continue to battle. I think the green flags will go back out. Will Overhouse be able to continue? That is what our timings are suggesting, and yes, he is able to continue. That's late on the brakes. Michele Ascona down the inside as he tries to fight her way by. And he is up against Walter Borekamps there. Was he able to get through? Borekamps momentarily going off. And it looks like he is gone fully off. Has Borekamps. He's dropping down. He's been able to continue. That's the transponder. Having a few issues there, but he has been able to continue. He momentarily dipped a tyre off into the gravel trap. The yellow flags are still out. So I wonder whether Overhouse was able to get back going and now has stopped again.
Well, we'll see soon enough. And Overhouse, the championship leader, well, that lead is about to go. With where Goretti, De Haan and Van Eindhoven are in the field as they come around to complete what will be third lap of this one. So 3 laps down, 12 minutes to go here, and we are seeing more moves being done by the number 18 that's going side by side with Van Eindhoven on the run-up. That has to be... Who's that that's coming through? That has to be Masters, actually. Keegan Masters, who's right behind Borekamps. And yellow flags are being waved. I think Overhouse has stopped, Omi. Where has he stopped? Has he stopped on the outside? Have they been able to move away? He's behind the barrier. So it's absolutely out of harm's way. So Overhouse out of the race, the championship leader.
Yep. And that means that we can now continue this race in all its glory. Down to the braking zone we go. Masters defending as he stays ahead as well. So Keegan Masters staying ahead of Cass Havercourt, the driver directly in behind, trying to go on the attack, but it is Klin leading. Down a place went De Haan off the opening lap, and then we find ourselves with Levy in third, Goretti in fourth, Jabez in fifth, and then that is your top 5 at the start of this race. Okay, let's go back to the race start. We had a slow mover off the line.
Yeah, I wonder if that was Keegan Masters who was slow off the line there. We'll have a look to see. But a good getaway from Robert De Haan, and then Klein just made the most, actually. I'll tell you what really helped him. The use of the sausage curb on the outside. I never thought I'd be saying that, but that helped with the acceleration on the exit to get the run he needed and push Robert De Haan out wide. And there we see what looked like Teo Overhouse going off the circuit. Was able to... No, sorry, that's Ariel Levy that went off the track at first. There is Klein on the inside of De Haan over at the Schosgold corner, and that was enough for him to take over the lead of the part. This is Jan Stiak, who went off the circuit through the gravel, as well as Huub van Eindhoven at the same time.
Wow. Absolutely wild stuff as we went 3 wide. Well, it... of course, in the Super Cup does work, and there we saw that's where we lost Overhouse. He was tagged round. Our championship leader, a driver who has 10-point advantage over Goretti. Of course, we have the half point as well. We have to add in for Goretti, so basically 9.5. Rather, in terms of the gap between first and second place. That was due to our shortened race in Monaco. We've got a shortened race once again. It's just that type of the Porsche Supercup season where it is all going wrong and all messing around. The teammate switching positions. The Proton Huber competition teammate Burton gets past Jaap van Lagen, and he moves up to what is 7th position at the moment. So that is nice stuff from him as we make our way through this middle sector of the circuit. And they are all attacking. They're all trying to see what opportunities they have, and there could be an opportunity as well in a few moments for Alexander Tauscher, who is going to see whether he can move up to 13th place and get ahead of Cass Havercourt.
Tauscher on the rear of Havercourt as they enter turns 9 and 10 to round out the lap. 9 minutes to go here at the Rebel Ring, round 4 of the championship of the Porsche Supercup, reaching the halfway point after this one. And so far, so good. And we've seen Jan Stiak on the tail of Jaap van Lagen entering turn number 1. It's a chance for Stiak to make his way back through. One of the rookies in the field. Flint Shoering is the highest of the rookies so far in this. He's running in 6th place. But there's not too much change further up front. I think the closest battle is between Levy and Goretti. And now we're looking at the battles further behind. Goretti posted a new fast lap of the race on the last tour. So he's in good form right now. Can he go after Levy for 3rd place? Well, he's looking for a move around the outside, entering the Schosgold corner. He can do a switchback if he can help it. And he is able to do a switchback, but he's not quite alongside enough to try and go around the outside, I don't think, into turn 6. Now he goes to the inside. He surprises Levy on entry, but Levy isn't having any of it.
He's not, and look at this gaggle. If you are synced up with us, we've got 4 cars not separated by anything in this battle for 3rd position. Dehan is trying to close it on his team. What a Super Cup race. I mean, we're only getting half of it, but... or more, just more than half of it, I should say, rather. But it's delivering. And these drivers are doing such a great job out there in terms of entertaining us. This is why it would have been so disappointing to not get any race at all. Of course, you know, we may have got, had it been rescheduled, we may have got a full race, but around a circuit, let's say Alexandria, where it, you know, the drivers are struggling to overtake, I think I'd rather have 17 minutes of pure amazing action in Austria, rather than have an extra race somewhere else as well. Jaap van Lagen on the radio. Momentarily speaking, he's the driver running in 8th position. Maybe something in relation to his teammate, who knows. If anyone did hear that, then do let us know what that was in the live chat. But we are going to hopefully be seeing an overtake in a few moments time, because Flint Turing is getting closer to Matisse Jalbert. He's getting close enough to go around the outside. He will try and set up the move. He'll try and get better traction off the corner and make this a battle down towards turn 4. So it's Turing up against Matisse Jalbert, who returns back after stepping away for personal reasons, and the Schumacher CLRT car sending it around the outside into turn number 4 we go. Jalbert's late on the brakes, and Jalbert will take his racing rival Turing to the apex, and Jalbert hangs on to P5.
Nicely done there from Jalbert, holding on ahead of Turing as they enter the Pirelli corner once more. And we've got team radio over with Burton, Gustav Burton on the radio, who is currently running, whereabouts is he in the field as we speak? He's running in P7. That's probably in response to what Van Lagen has said. So there may be a bit of a team game there between Gus Burton and Jaap van Lagen. But so far so good for the 2 Lettner racing cars, who are continuing to dominate proceedings here at the team's home race. Levy not able to do anything about the 2.
Yeah, and his attentions are trying to hold on to 3rd position. Levy, who said on the radio yesterday that he was disappointed and he felt that he had enough pace to get onto pole position. Well, unfortunately right now the pace is not translating into this race to try and challenge the Lekners, who are now inside 1 second. It's the fastest lap of the race for Robert Dehan. He is chasing down his teammate. Could be a battle between these 2 drivers to come. Could be a battle for P3 to come at this moment though, because Giretti had a half look looming large in the mirrors of Ariel Levy, and Ariel Levy finds himself doing his best job at the moment that he can to try and defend that position. Fastante drops back a place further back as well, so we continue to see the positions exchanged at the moment. 5 minutes to go. We've done 8 laps in total of this race. So, as you mentioned, Tom, we'll probably get a decent chunk still done, which is nice to see, and that's exactly what we want to leave Austria with.
Yeah, so the leaders are just coming around turn 7 and 8. I'm looking at the lap times that they are doing. 1 minute 32 is that the leaders are doing. So, I think if they're not over the line by 4:36, is it when the time reaches 0, will it be the last lap, or is it +1 lap? Do you know?
Well, it was +1 lap in Monaco, so we assume that it will be the same here as well. But sometimes sometimes we have had scenarios where they ignore the 1 lap in case they really have to go as well. But they should give us confirmation on that, so it will be interesting to see. But from what we hope, we will get an extra lap along with what the time is going to allow us. That's usually the rule that we currently run with as we make our way to Giretti. Here is another opportunity, as he is flashing the headlights, is Alessandro Giretti, and that is to alert Ariel Levy that he is coming, and he is arriving down to the braking zone on the outside line, and it will be a battle on the brakes between these 2 drivers. Ariel Levy will be trying to get the power down, but not faster than Giretti, who's been able to go and sail the long way round. Superb stuff from Giretti. The traction that he got, the drive that he got out of turn 3, and it means that he has got a decent gap heading down into turn number 4. Can Levy try and fight back? He's the one now who is going to try and go on the move and try and pass his rival there, as Giretti has the final spot on the podium. Meanwhile, Jaap van Lagen versus Burton is still going on at the moment. They were super close together. Is Levy going to brave it around the outside? He's in range, but not close enough at the moment. He's trying to look left and right, but he might have to wait until we get back to the start-finish straight, as Burton and Jaap van Lagen continue their wheel-to-wheel momentarily, and it's still Burton who's in 7th, and Jaap van Lagen is in 8th. So some great battling going on there.
Yeah, and they're coming through. And I think by the time the leaders come around, I think we've got 3 laps to go, Omi, when they come over the line. So when they go over the line, they'll have done, what is it, 10 laps they've now done. So by my calculation, it'll be 13 laps. Will they get full points though? Because will it be? Is it 75% race distance they have to complete, or is it 50?
Yeah, that's the interesting point as well in terms of the rules with what it comes to. With depending on how much points that these drivers will get. It's been a points mess so far this season anyway, due to what we had in Monaco. We've already got the half point introduced due to it. In terms of some drivers have half a point due to the reduction that we had in Monaco, and that's something that we have to live with, kind of like what we had in Formula 2 last year. And Schuring is going to soar onto the back of Mathis Jalbert, who is going to have to now defend this. Dehan is getting close to Klin, but he's going to be running out of time. He needs to get closer and closer if he wants to make the move. Schuring leads on the brakes. We've already seen one Schumacher CLRT car go on the attack. Could it be another one to try and follow through? Meanwhile, Jaap van Lagen and Burton, we've already talked about those two battling, and now Burton is under major pressure. Jaap van Lagen definitely looks like a driver with intent to try and make the move.
Through the field, through the corners they come once more. And Jalbert holding up Schuring, Burton and Van Lagen in their own squabble for 5th place. Schuring's still the highest of the rookies as they come through. They will have their own podium, as well as the outright podium of Klein, Dehan and Goretti as it stands. And the top 3 in the rookie standings right now would be Schuring, Stiak and Dirk Schouten as they head over the line for what will be their penultimate lap of the race. And it looks like it's pretty much set in stone unless we see changes within this particular group. But it looks like that Schuring's got a good run on Jalbert entering or exiting turn 1. Will we see a change for 5th place here?
Let's find out. Schuring getting closer and closer. Can he complete the move this time by? He's once again forced to the outside line. At some point he may need to try and sell the dummy to try and find a gap down the inside, because it's becoming a hard part of the circuit to find a way through, and it's going to become a hard part of the circuit in a moment to try defend, because you've got Burton there and Jaap van Lagen's getting closer as well. So from the attack to the defense for Flint Schuring, our pole sitter from last round in Spain, might be about to lose 2 positions. 3 wide we go, and that's going to be surely wide for Schuring as up go Burton, up go Jaap van Lagen, and that is disappointing for Schuring. He was trying to gain a place, instead he drops down 2.
Now, disappointment for Schuring, which won't help his slim chance of the championship at the moment. The lap 1 turn 1 incident will be investigated after the race due to multiple cars leaving the track and gaining an advantage. So here is Klein coming around the last corner. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The clock reaches 0. Will it be one more lap for Marvin Klein, or will the checker flag come out this time around? I think it will be one more lap for the leaders. They head over the line. Steert's dropping down the order on the timing tower, but that could well be a transponder issue, which has been a regular thing in this race. Here is Jalbert putting a wheel in the gravel on the exit of turn 8, which won't help his cause. In his defence with Gus Burton, there is confirmation it's the last lap. So it's now or never for these if they want to be gaining more positions from where they are. And looking at the battle further behind, I think Cas Havocot is on the move.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. As we do battle on the last lap of the race. Oh, that's going to be contact. And it was always going to happen. It was always going to happen with how they were arriving on the scene. And that is going to be dropping down for Burton. That's disappointment for him as we arrived so late on the brakes into the braking zone of turn 3. It means we've got a brawl behind on the last lap. And that is going to be moving up then. We're going to have Huub van Eindhoven involved in the scrap. We're also going to have Keegan Masters in there as well. And that's going to be trying to move up here. Michele Scona in the Hideki livery is also trying to move up. So let's see whether he can do it. Up against Van Eindhoven, up against Cas Havocot. He's up against 2 GP Elite drivers as they make their way through this turn number 6 complex. And Scona was able to get ahead, and he was able to get ahead of Cas Havocot, but could not do it off Huub van Eindhoven. This is the last corner on the last lap, and it will be Marvin Klin's 3rd victory in the Porsche Supercup. It'll be his 1st since Spa last last year, and it'll be victory in Lechner Race's home race. Marvin Klin comes across the line to win at Austria, and in second place it'll be Tihan, and then we've got Giretti in third, hanging on to it, and it's going to be a drag race to the line further back. Does Ascona do it? No, he missed out by 200ths of a second, so he's in 11th, and it was super tight across the line, action all the way till the end, and at least we were able to get some great running in the Porsche Supercup, and that was enough to get the award for the best race of the year already. Marvin Klin, though, brilliant job by him, he's the winner.
Yeah, good job, and a very much needed one for Klein to keep his slim hopes of the championship alive. But Robert De Haan's second place finish has moved him into the championship lead. And Marvin Klein, we haven't got team radio for you at this moment in time, but we could envisage what Klein is going to be saying on the radio, that he's happy with the win there. Robert De Haan in the lead of the championship now. So I think it's De Haan, Giretti, and then it will be Overhouse, I believe, unless Levy's moved up. I think Levy's moved up. So from the championship lead, I think Overhouse may have dropped down to 4th place only.
Yep, extraordinary stuff. But I mean, Flint Schuring, it was disappointment to lose some places. He was able to gain some back. I'm sure this. So Burton has also been noted for the turn 3 incident. It's an absolute mess, and we'll continue to. We'll wait for further news, of course. As I mentioned, we'll update you in Formula 1 later on if we do get anything, but there is track limits to come into play. There's so many other factors as well that we need to consider about things that can change. But congratulations as well to Flint Schuring on picking up that rookie win. Flint Schuring leads the championship, the rookie championship, at the moment. He's ahead of Yanis Diak, Dirk Schutten and Pietro Deli Granti. Those are the 4 that are competing in the rookie championship this year as well. And they are going to be satisfied with their performances that they've managed across this season. But, you know, they'll want to take those type of performances to the main weekend. They'll want to do it overall, not just in the rookie championship. They want to succeed and win stuff overall as well. But Lechner Racing in their home race, we heard from Robert Lechner yesterday. Today it is going to be celebrations once more for them. Both of their cars, P1. P2, and then you've got Schumacher CLRT, their rivals from, of course, especially last year in 3rd position. So great to see those 3 out there, and the celebrations can begin. Great moments. These drivers had to wait a long time, but when they did get out on track, they delivered, and they put on a show as the Lechner Racing crew can celebrate. Robert De Haan there as well, and then, of course, the teammates will also handshake. Deservingly so as well. They've had a bit of a rivalry after Spain. They've had a bit of tension, of course. Lechner Racing is a team that usually does contain quite a bit of tension, just due to how competitive their drivers are. But if they can manage it well, then that's all that matters. And a bit of competition on the circuit, absolutely enjoyable at the same time. Right, 5-second time penalty. So we're not even going to have to wait for this. 5-second time penalty. Van Lagen, that is for causing a collision. So Jaap Van Lagen has been given a 5-second time penalty, and it means that he's demoted all the way down to P15, Tom.
Yeah, and I think that's justice served, really, for Van Lagen, because it was clumsy from his part, which did promote Jan Stiak to P7 in the final order. Keegan Masters 8th, Ruben van Heijden in 9th, and Mikkel Troyes in 10th place. And talking of which, the rookies, Schuring, Stiak, and Schouten were the top 3, and have also made their way over into Part Fermate. We're around about 10 minutes away from the drivers' parade due to begin, so they need to get on with the podium ceremony for these, so that F1 can focus their pictures on the Formula 1 drivers coming onto the truck for the parade. And we've just seen an incident involving Van Lagen and Burton. Burton will be absolutely furious with that, no doubt about it. He dropped down the order to 18th in the final reckoning. Yeah.
And that's to hurt, as we also take a look at a replay of Aaron Mason going round. So that is also contact. That is also, of course, contact between teammates, Burton Huber competition. And it was Frosty all race. We heard, I mean, they were talking on the radio even. And that is why. As we also take a look at a replay, as we had a car running off the road. So drama all the way right till the end, as that was Francesco Braschi having to go through the runoff area.
And more drivers taking the runoff area. This is Gus Burton, I think, also lost more places before the finish line. So a nightmare of a final lap for the Brit as he heads to the line. They could just see a little bit of debris being dragged along the front end of his machine. These Porsche 911 GT3s they are using for a lot of championships which Porsche are involved in these sports car days. We've got the likes of Porsche Carrera Cup Great Britain, the Porsche Carrera Cup Sprint Challenge, Porsche Carrera Cup Middle East, which is part of the Formula 1 support bill for when Formula 1 is over in places like Bahrain and Saudi Arabia. But overall, a very, very good race, and I would definitely say it's been the best race of the year without any interventions, Omi.
Yeah, and most of all it had action, most of all it had some great racing for us to enjoy, and that is the most important thing as well for us. And I think that's definitely the best thing, that we had great action, and we had some phenomenal racing that we were able to watch and see in the Porsche Supercup. After this, we will of course not be heading to Silverstone this year, as we of course go off air in terms of the world feed, because they need to, as Tom mentioned, prioritize their Formula 1 track parade in a moment's time. So we're just going to quickly find ourselves, just quickly running you through our next round. We'll be going to Spa, then we'll be going to Budapest, and we'll be then to Netherlands, and then we're going to be heading over to the Temple of Speed at Monza as well. Tom, can we get your final thoughts then from the Porsche Supercup?
Super race. Wasn't the most clean, but it was the cleanest out of all the 4 races we've had so far this season. And congratulations to Marvin Klein taking his first win of the season. And we have a new championship leader of Robert De Haan, who looks to sustain that form into the coming rounds. But they do have a little bit of a break again before they return at Spa.
Absolutely. Our order finished: Klin, De Haan, Giretti, Levy, Jabert, Schuring, Stiak, Masters, Hu, Van Eindhoven, and then it was Michele Scona in 10th, and then it was Havercourt, Tauscher, Schuten, Fastante, Van Lagen, and then Fremert, Bertinelli, Burton, Deli Granti, and then we had Jonas Greif, Pisani, and then Shaheen, Camps, and then we had Martinez finishing in 25th, Aaron Mason in 26th, Francesco Braschi was in 27th, and then it was Jakob Noll in 28th, Horst Felix Salvermeer in 29th, and Tyr Overhaus finished in 30th position as well. So, an absolutely extraordinary Porsche Mobil 1 Supercup event, and a great race to go with it. Robert De Haan will shoot his way to the top of the of the championship standings, as well as Tom mentioned, and it will be very interesting to see what that is going to produce. Well, before we go off air, we're also going to just quickly have a look. We're also going to have a quick look momentarily at our teams, as Megan has arrived as well, so she'll be able to end the stream in a moment. But yeah, just quickly, Formula 1 will be coming up later on. Right before that, you've got MotoGP. That is on an hour before. I'll be taking you through the pre-show for Formula 1, so you're going to have an action-packed day in store with us. Okay, well, that is it from the Porsche Mobil 1 Supercup. We absolutely thank you for joining us and our coverage of round 4. Apologies that it was so delayed, but it was due to the bridge that had issues on the circuit. That has been repaired, and now all eyes are set at the Red Bull Ring to the main event. That is Formula 1. We'll see you there. Goodbye.